Diplomatic protocols and instruments. International diplomacy serves as the backbone of international relations, facilitating communication, negotiation, and collaboration between nations. Diplomatic protocols and instruments, multilateral and bilateral, help govern these interactions and ensure the orderly conduct of diplomacy. In addition to diplomacy, collective security mechanisms, whether regional or global, offer frameworks for states to cooperate on mutual defense and peacekeeping. These instruments and frameworks differ significantly across regions due to various factors such as historical relations, regional security threats, economic integration, and the political environment. This paper explores the role of diplomatic protocols, collective security, and diplomatic tools/instruments while comparing them across 5 countries from different regions of the world. Overview of diplomatic protocols and instruments. Diplomatic protocols, the rules of engagement. Diplomatic protocols are the formal rules and procedures governing interactions between states, their representatives, and international organizations. These protocols can be seen as the etiquette of international relations, ensuring consistency and respect in diplomatic practices. The importance of diplomatic protocol cannot be overstated, as it helps maintain peaceful, effective, and mutually respectful relations between states. Diplomatic immunity, this is perhaps the most important feature of diplomatic protocols. Under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, 1961, diplomats enjoy immunity from the host country's legal system. This ensures that diplomats can carry out their duties without fear of arrest or harassment. However, this immunity is not absolute, and it can be waived by the diplomat's home country or revoked if deemed necessary for the safety of the host nation. Ranks and titles. Diplomats hold different ranks, including ambassadors, ministers, and consuls, each with its own privileges and responsibilities. The higher the rank, the more prestige and power a diplomat holds in negotiations. Ambassadorial status often carries the authority to make significant decisions regarding foreign policy. Ceremonial practices and precedents. Diplomatic meetings, state visits, and treaty signings are typically governed by established formalities, with strict procedures regarding seating arrangements, flag displays, and national anthems. These ceremonies not only foster mutual respect but also uphold the international image of the states involved. Diplomatic instruments, tools of negotiation and policy. Diplomatic instruments are formal agreements and documents used by states to regulate their relationships, solve disputes, and foster cooperation. They serve as the tangible outcomes of diplomatic efforts and are essential for maintaining peace, trade relations, and international cooperation. Treaties and conventions. Treaties are formal and legally binding agreements between states that govern a wide range of issues such as defense, trade, and environmental protection. Examples include the North Atlantic Treaty, 1949, which founded NATO, and the Paris Agreement, 2015, on climate change. Conventions, such as the Geneva Conventions, 1949, govern humanitarian law during wartime. Memoranda of Understanding, MOUs. MOUs are less formal than treaties but still carry significant diplomatic weight. They are often used to outline the intentions of both parties to cooperate on a particular issue, such as defense cooperation, scientific research, or cultural exchange. Declarations and resolutions. Declarations are public statements made by states or international organizations expressing a common position on a certain issue. For example, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, outlines fundamental human rights. Resolutions, on the other hand, are typically issued by bodies like the United Nations to address specific issues or to enforce decisions. 2. Multilateral and bilateral collective security. Multilateral collective security, protecting the global commons. Multilateral collective security refers to agreements where multiple countries agree to defend each other from external threats, often formalized in international organizations. Such systems are designed to deter aggression by ensuring that any act of aggression against one member will be met with a unified response from all. The United Nations, UN, the UN, with its Security Council, is the premier international organization for maintaining peace and security. The Security Council's 5 permanent members, the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom, hold veto power over any substantive resolution. The Security Council is authorized to deploy peacekeeping forces, impose sanctions, or authorize military intervention to maintain or restore peace. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. NATO is a military alliance between 30 North American and European countries, founded in 1949. Article 5 clause mandates that an armed attack against one member is an attack against all, ensuring collective defense. NATO remains a powerful military and diplomatic force in Europe and beyond, particularly in maintaining peace during the Cold War and adapting to new security challenges, such as terrorism. The African Union, AU. The African Union's Peace and Security Council coordinates responses to conflicts across Africa. The AU has initiated several peacekeeping missions in countries like Sudan, Darfur, Somalia, and the Central African Republic. The African Standby Force, ASF, is a key component for providing rapid response to crises, showcasing Africa's growing commitment to regional security. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. ASEAN promotes peace and security through dialogue and economic cooperation. While not primarily a military alliance, ASEAN plays a crucial role in conflict prevention and resolution in the South China Sea and other regional disputes, especially through the ASEAN Regional Forum, ARF. Bilateral collective security, national alliances and cooperation. Bilateral collective security refers to defense agreements between two countries, which may be based on shared strategic interests or historical alliances. These agreements often focus on mutual defense, intelligence sharing, and other forms of military cooperation. United States and Japan. The U.S.-Japan Security Treaty, 1951, is a cornerstone of bilateral security in the Pacific. It commits both nations to mutual defense, with the U.S. guaranteeing Japan's defense in case of an armed attack. This treaty has provided Japan with a security umbrella, allowing it to focus on economic development while relying on U.S. military power for defense. India and Russia. India and Russia share a deep defense relationship, with numerous bilateral agreements on arms sales, technology transfer, and military cooperation. The India-Russia Treaty of Peace, Friendship, and Cooperation, 1971, serves as the foundation of their security cooperation. South Korea and the United States. The ROKU.S. Mutual Defense Treaty, 1953, remains one of the most important security pacts in East Asia, aiming to deter North Korean aggression and maintain regional stability. Israel and the United States. Israel and the U.S. have one of the most robust defense relationships in the world. The U.S.-Israel Memorandum of Understanding, 2007, guarantees substantial American military aid to Israel, ensuring its qualitative military edge in the Middle East. 3. Regional differences in diplomatic protocols and collective security. Africa. Africa's diplomatic protocols and collective security arrangements are strongly influenced by its history of colonialism and conflict. Regional organizations such as the African Union, AU, and Regional Economic Communities, RECs, play significant roles in shaping diplomatic relations and collective security. Comparative analysis, 5 African countries. South Africa. South Africa has positioned itself as a regional power, with a strong focus on multilateral diplomacy within the African Union, AU. It is also a key player in peacekeeping missions across Africa, often taking leadership roles in conflict zones like the Democratic Republic of Congo and Sudan. Nigeria. As the largest economy in Africa, Nigeria is heavily invested in maintaining regional stability through organizations like ECOWAS. It has led peacekeeping efforts in Liberia and Sierra Leone during the 1990s. Kenya. Kenya is at the forefront of peacekeeping and conflict resolution in East Africa, particularly through its involvement in the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD. It has been instrumental in mediating peace in South Sudan and Somalia. Egypt. Egypt plays a central role in Arab-African relations, particularly in the Horn of Africa and North Africa. Egypt is a member of the Arab League and the AU, where it advocates for security cooperation and regional peace efforts. Ethiopia. Ethiopia's strategic location in the Horn of Africa has made it a crucial player in regional security. As a member of IGAD, it is often at the center of conflict resolution efforts in Somalia, Sudan, and South Sudan. Conclusion. Diplomatic protocols, collective security frameworks, and diplomatic tools/instruments are essential for maintaining order in the international system. These structures help regulate relations, mitigate conflicts, and foster cooperation among nations. While multilateral and bilateral frameworks are fundamental to addressing global challenges, the regional characteristics of each area, shaped by historical, political, and economic factors, often dictate the specific diplomatic strategies employed by states. By comparing different countries across Africa, Asia, Europe, Latin America, and North America, we gain a deeper understanding of how diplomacy adapts to diverse geopolitical realities.